Hi everyone. Today we are going to learn how to identify corresponding parts of congruent triangles. The key to identifying corresponding parts of congruent triangles is looking at the order of the letters in our congruency statement. So although it may be tempting to reason from a diagram, what we want to do is look at our congruency statement in order to identify the corresponding parts of the two congruent triangles. So in this example, we are given that two triangles are congruent. Triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ZYX. Notice the letters are not necessarily in alphabetical order. The first one I want to look at is angle A. So angle A will be congruent to angle Z. And the reason why I know that is because angle A is the first letter in the congruency statement for the first triangle. Angle Z is the first letter in the congruency statement for the second triangle. So I know that angle A is congruent to angle Z based on this congruency statement. Now that will be the same for all three angles. So I'm going to go ahead and write those out for the same reason. Angle B is the middle letter in the first triangle, so I'm going to look at the middle letter in the second triangle, and angle B will correspond to angle Y. And now I will do the same thing with the third angle. Angle C will correspond and then be congruent to angle X. So angle C is congruent to angle X. Now, of course, congruency also holds for the segments, the three segments that will make a triangle. So if I want to find a segment that is congruent to AB, it still comes from the order of the letters. AB would be congruent to segment ZY. So AB is congruent to ZY. We have two other segments as well, of course. Segment AC will be congruent to, and now since A is the first letter, C is the last letter, that will be congruent to segment ZX. And again, order is where I'm getting this from. The order of the letters tells us which parts are corresponding, and since it's a congruency statement, it tells us which parts are congruent to each other. The next one I'm going to do is segment BC. Segment BC will be congruent to segment YX, and that again is based on the order of the letters. So to finalize this, when I'm coming up with the corresponding parts of congruent triangles, I'm looking at the congruency statement and then going specifically with the order of the letters. So angle A corresponds to angle Z, angle B corresponds to angle Y, angle C corresponds to angle X. And because it's a congruency statement, those corresponding parts are congruent to each other.